Hey Nepers, it's me, Wild Neptune. So, this is a free-to-play account that I made during the global launch, during the first day actually. It is an account that I re-rolled for a lot, and didn't actually get this particular account until pretty late into the first day. So only had a little bit of time to do all my dailies and use all my energy for it. So this is just a brief overview of the account. Like I said, this is the 4th day of me playing the account. 4th day, I think, yeah. Kind of lost track of how many days it's been, but yeah, just look at the account where I am in it. Some tips and stuff like that, and some things I've learned making this account. So let's go. Now, when I said I re-roll for this account, man, this account is pretty cracked for a opening account. So with Yelly here. Now, Yelly was actually the latest character that I got. I actually had to pull on her banner and use some of my crystals for her. That's why my crystal count is pretty low at the moment. But we get a lot of crystals early on, so I think it's pretty much worth it if you can guarantee you get her. Now, I gambled to get her, right? I wasn't guaranteed, and honestly, I don't recommend you do what I did. I'll talk about it more when we get to the summoning, stuff like that. But yeah, here's Yelly. Here is, I guess, her stats. A little overcrit. What can you do at this stage in the game? White Fang, not ideal, but don't have access to Revelation quite yet. Lily, picked it from the selector. Here, her stats right now. So, just typical, early game Lily. So, Plume we actually got from the permanent banner. Didn't even summon on her own banner, so really, really lucky. She's actually the first SSR that I got. We have our SRs collection here. Right now, with skill ups, the only ones I have right now are in Yelly, so 145, because that's all the golds that I've gotten so far. I'll probably get her to 155, and then start doing Lily S1. Then we have Valerian Max S3, because she's pretty worthless with other S3 Max. And then we also have Kazuo S3 Max to start doing more Doki and start pushing there. So we still have a lot of purple lasses. We actually have enough to fully max one character, and I'll talk about that in a second too. We got a Kloss. We got it pretty early on, basically right after we got Plume. Don't really know what I want to do with it yet. On my main account, I use her still with my Plume in some places, or separate from her in other places. So I'm sure I'll find use for her, right? She's still a good character. We got Messiah too. So I actually have gotten more LD SSRs than normal SSRs on this account, which is pretty crazy. One problem with that though, I say problem like it's a bad thing, but a lot of LD SSRs are very PvP focused, and they don't really help me in the early game. So Messiah's just kind of sitting here doing nothing at the moment. We have Leanne, who we said already. We have Suki, one of the few normal SSRs that we got. Actually, the only, besides Kloss, other normal SSR that we got. But yeah, another kind of end game PvP unit that we have. We have a Mio, again, another PvP unit over here. We also got a Shadow Sonya. We actually gotten two Shadow Sonyas. Don't actually even know if I'm going to use her or not, but yeah, she's here. But yeah, you'll see that, you'll notice that the account right now is very, cleave and speed heavy in terms of, the characters it has. So that's kind of the direction that I'm being forced to go in on this account. Of course, just a long time, coming until we get to, max level, even close to the end of the month. So, yeah, so that's basically the units that we've been using. Let's just go right now into the actual progression. Alright, so level 36 right now, and this is with spending quite a few stabilizers. I wanted to try to get to 35 relatively quickly and get some of the shells for the first day. I'll tell you why. Now, depending on how close it is to the month ending, that might change things for you. So here with shell farming, obviously just try to do as far as you can. Nico Nani got nerfed 5 million times. I actually don't know if it's only Inferno or only Kanaz got nerfed, but yeah, really, really easy when you have, such a bonkers account like this early on. But yeah, trying to get these red shells. Trying to get 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them. So probably the 1 DPS here, then 2 artisans and 2 gigabytes, and then whatever else I have is just icing at this stage of the game, in terms of getting those. Also, in terms of my modules, I haven't really done a lot of them right now, not a lot of module farming. So I did these two one time just to get them done. I did them auto, they were pretty easy. So I'd probably be able to do at least Hell 2. Not sure about Hell 3. Hell 3 is actually a pretty Hell 3 and 4 actually pretty big difficulty spikes after them, so might not be able to do them until I get my shells in order, but would like to be able to get these because they do drop the 3 matrix ones, which are a huge benefit, especially early on. Then Aurora, we won't get Ling until day 7, so not really rushing to do this, even though I am pretty sure I can do Hell 1 also on this also. So I have been farming some GP just to get those skill up materials and stuff like that. It feels really bad to do it outside of 2x, but you know, just early on you have to do them, unfortunately. So don't like put them off, right? And also I still have to do these odd ones. Like I said, I got Yelly recently, and with Leanne, they were actually too hard to do. So, in terms of anti-sync right now, I'm on Kururu. I haven't actually attempted him yet, so I don't actually know if I can do him or not. But everything else after Dahlia was pretty easy. But I did get stuck on Dahlia for like a day. On other accounts that weren't quite as good, I was stuck on Dahlia for longer than a day. So if we get stuck here, don't feel that bad. She's definitely a lot harder than all of the other ones behind her. Yeah, like Whitney too. You might get stuck on a little bit. Sometimes also really early on, if you don't have enough damage, Ling Low can just basically out-heal your entire damage output. But most players will get stuck on Dahlia for at least a day or so. In terms of Ember Trek, I'm on 30 Sharon, which is one of the biggest walls, I think, in the entire game, at least for new players. The only other place where you might get stuck is going to be Apate or Apate, however you say her. So I was here, and I did this with Leanne, and it was really hard with Leanne. Even with Lily, Plume, Leanne, and like, you know, like another character, it was hard. I barely did it. And if I had Yelly at the time, it would have been much easier to do. Actually, probably easy to do. But yeah, now I'm on Sharon. If you notice the rankings here, everybody is stuck on Sharon, except for this one person who has Doki. And looks like he might have picked Doki over Lily. I'm not actually sure, because Lily isn't on this team. He also has Fushu, which is also pretty nuts to have for, what do you call it, the fight too. So yeah, he has like a really good roster for this particular fight. It's just really hard without a cleanser or immunity giver, because Sharon has a mechanic in stage 2 where basically if these flowers are able to make a move and your character takes a turn, they get stunned, right, and can't take a turn. And it is infuriating because there's like no seeming limit on how many characters can actually have the debuff. I've had it be, I think it's 4 characters at once can have the debuff, and it just doesn't seem to go away. And not only that, I don't even know mechanically how the debuff actually goes onto a character. It's like hidden somewhere in the text, but it is a really difficult fight at this stage. I have gotten pretty close to clearing stage 2 with my current gear and roster, so I think in a day or two will be able to do it. And one of the reasons why I've been trying to push so hard into getting like better gear and better shells to try to clear this is because you see right here, this refreshes in a couple of days, so I don't have that much longer to do this, and I want to try to maximize as much of these rewards as possible for the end of the month. My goal is to try to beat Fabian at least, to get this rainbow summon. That's the goal. Don't know if I'll be able to get it, because even though I said I was close to beating stage 2, that was like one time, right? And it took me like 20 tries to get that one time. So I'm still probably kind of far away from beating Sharon, but you know, I'll get much stronger over the next day or two. So hopefully I'll be able to get it. Probably no hope of beating Astarte this month, unfortunately. Alright, so in terms of arena, we haven't done any RTA. Probably could get stomped. I don't know. So I don't really feel like doing it on this account, even though I could probably lose. How many games we have to lose? 20 games, right, to get the 2,000 points. You know, like, I'm not that try hard to do that. You know, so. But in normal arena, we have been spending tickets. I've actually bought a lot of tickets really early on and slowed down towards the end of the week. Part of this is because nobody else is like ranked that high. See, I'm ranked 30 right now, and nobody else really has a lot of points. It's really hard to get any points right now. See right here, and the only ones are like, you know, up here, and actually this team I can probably beat. This team too. These two teams don't actually seem that difficult to me. So if I had flags, I would do them. This one too. This is actually okay. This one has a plume. Yeah, this is weird because like most of the defenses do have plumes, but not all of them, I guess, right now. Probably at this stage in your account, you will have to like refresh a few times here in order to get both lattices. And of course, later on, after the server's been up for a while, you can just kind of coast on because you'll decay much higher up, to like diamond, and stuff like that. So, not as big of a deal later on, but early on, definitely going to want to refresh your arena tickets. Alright, so we turn to summons. So, we actually pulled, like I said, we pulled pretty much on the yellow banner here, and see the summon record. So, it's just like 5 per page. So, we have like 10 pages, so 9 times 5 is 45 plus this. So, like 47 times on Yelly. So, actually pretty good. Like, pretty good luck overall, especially since pity is 80, and there is no, like, bonus for this one. Now, right now, I'm actually trying to pull on the Freya banner, and it's a little tidbit. I've never not pitied this banner. And with only 20 summons left until I get her during the pity, it looks like I'm going to pity her once again. So if you're wondering, as a new player, when should you switch from the Perm banner to trying to get Freya? Generally what I do is, once I have gotten enough currency to buy the first gold lattice with this, which is 3,000, that is when I typically switch over to trying to get Freya. Because that should get most players, regardless of their account power, as long as they play consistently every day and doing their quests and doing the best they can, they will have enough to eventually get Freya before her banner ends. And I highly recommend that you try to get her because she is a really strong character. She has a lot of good utility for some PvE encounters, but she's also really strong in PvP too. Because you can't guarantee anybody besides Untitled Chapter who you should save for a character that you really, really need. Yeah, I highly recommend that you do try to get her. Also, she's one of the most pleasing characters to look at in the entire game. In terms of targeted summoning though, I just have an Ashiata right now because there is a world where I accidentally click this instead of on this or something like that. And if she wants, and it defaults on Hellkid, and if I pulled Hellkid on accident, I would be very upset. Now, that being said, I've also never pulled this summon before the 40th summon. Like, never. So, but yeah, I recommend that you don't actually do this, if possible, until after the 14th day, as you get a free random SSR on that day. Now, for me, the free SSR that I've gotten has, like, always been, like, another Linglow or something like that, right? So it's almost always been bad for me. But hey, you might get something pretty good. You can actually get Apexes from that free SSR too. So yeah, try to save this if you can until after you get your free SSR on the 14th day. Alright, finally here, we're going to look at the charter really quickly. So, going through it pretty smoothly right here. Like, 3 animus, 12 outstanding modules. I can actually do this right now if I actually had gear that I really want to upgrade. This isn't necessary to do. This will always be here. It's not in a big rush. Of course, a lot of things now, I'm actually just locked behind player level and stuff like that. So, that's like a big thing. If you ever get to a point where the level or like the thing you have to do, you actually can't do yet, you're progression at a pretty good pace overall. So these are things here that I'll probably want to do. Like I said, I did this already, and this one I can clear probably tomorrow. Probably not until after I get my shells, but we'll be able to do it. right here, level 38. So that will be done tomorrow also. An arena right here, getting the 600 points. That will probably be done like maybe tomorrow, maybe a couple of days. There is a lattice at the end of this one, which is another reason why people try to rush this overall. So yeah, just pretty good progress I think on the account. Just hope you enjoyed this journey. Looking at this right now, I'll probably make another one of these in a few days to see a little bit more progress. Probably around level 45 ish, maybe a little bit earlier. 45 sounds pretty far away at this point. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed. I'm Neptune. It's been a good one. Until next time.